雄, AOE Next Toastmaster in Kaohsiung. He had ever represented Taiwan to join 2013 Toastmasters International Convention in Cincinnati. Also, he is the club coach, area director, and most importantly, the training workshop host today in this section. Before we start, let me ask you some questions. What's the most important ingredient to a successful life in your mind? And how to be more impactful to others, no matter in your personal development or professional development. Today, Anson said is going to help us to explore the answers for every one of us. And let's invite our trainer today. His topic is Beyond Vision, the unexpected ingredients to the awakened champion in you. Let's welcome Anson Sachs.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters.
Good afternoon.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready for more success in your life?
Yes.
Are you ready for joy?
Yes.
Turn to your neighbor and say, I am ready.
I am ready.
I want success.
I want success.
I want joy.
I want joy.
Awesome. Success, success, success. It is the most powerful word in the English language because when I say success, every single one of you has a different picture of success, right?
Yes.
And it's something that we want, and it's all good. But we're willing to give up a lot for success. So today, rather than just talk about success, I'm going to talk about the journey. The journey to success is a totally different story. And I want to share with you something that happened just last week. Just last week to illustrate my point about the journey. As an area director, I have to write notes and do an evaluation for the clubs. And last week I had to go to Pingdong University, which is about 50 kilometers from Kaohsiung. A little bit too far for riding on a scooter, so Julia Wang from Kaohsiung Toastmasters Club. Is she here?
No.
Oh good, I can talk about this. She was willing to give me a ride. So I hop into her Toyota Altis and we set off for downtown. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, it's 6 p.m. and it's rush hour. We're actually closer to the highway. Why would she go towards downtown? So I just sit there silently. She's giving me a ride. I don't want to walk. So we're going on, we're darting in and out of traffic, and 45 minutes later, we finally get to the freeway. Now on Google Maps, I mapped it out. It should take us 50 minutes to get to Pingdong University if we had taken the freeway first. So we get on the freeway, and then the next thing I know, she's going 80 in a 110. Maybe she wants to be safe. But then I thought, well, that's kind of like going reverse in 30. Not very safe. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, hurry up, Julia, hurry up. But instead of saying that, I'm kind of blinking to her, hurry up. 2 hours it took us to get to Pingdong University. And Eric Lam, the former district director, he's like, what happened to you guys? And I'm like, so Eric was so gracious. He said, okay, after the meeting, I will drive you guys to the freeway. You can see the signs, and you'll be back in Kaohsiung in no time. And I'm like, thank you, Eric. I'll call you when we get to Taichung. So he takes us to the highway, and then we get on the highway, we see the signs, and I'm like, all right, we're on our way home. I'm talking to Julia. Next thing I know, we're going through tunnels. Now, when you're in a tunnel, those lights are flashing. Have you ever experienced when you sense something is not right? And I'm like, Julia, did we go through a tunnel on the way to Pingdong? And she's like, I'm like, And I pull out my cell phone, and we're on our way to Taichung. I line Eric, I'm like, Eric, help. I'm on my way to Taichung. And it's not like you can turn around. You have to drive to the next junction, which was another 12 kilometers, and I was on Julia. I was on Julia like a hawk. I'm like, Julia, turn right, here, Gauchon, here, 1,000, 500, 250, 100. She's like, you're a very good GPS. I'm like, yeah, I'm a very good GPS. I want to go home. But thanks to Julia, she did get me home saying, I am alive and I'm here. Thank you so much, Julia. But the other point I want to make is, when it comes to success, we do know our destination, don't we? But the journey there is a completely different story. How many times have you asked yourself, what am I doing? Why am I not succeeding faster than I expect? Why? Why is the pursuit of success sometimes so hard? But yet, for some people, it's so easy. And then we get jealous. How do you do that? Right? Success is so important. Well, 2018 is right around the corner. It's New Year's resolution time. Raise your hand if you have a New Year's resolution. Wow, you guys are prepared. Great. You can continue eating your snacks. Well, 2018 is right around the corner. And this is a really good topic, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just to let you know, 2017, the #1 goal for Americans is losing weight. Go figure. Okay, but that's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about these staggering numbers. Did you know that 4 out of 10 Americans say no way to making goals? Whenever you say, hey, do you got any goals for next year? They're like, wait, I'll take out a 10-foot pole. You keep away from me. No, they don't want to make goals at all. And I'm wondering why. And then for the people who do make goals, only 9%, less than 10% actually succeed. Everyone's saying, that's incredible. Everyone, that is staggering. And after 1 week of going after goals, 1/4 of them give up. After 1 month, nearly half. Together, everyone's saying, why? Why? That's a good question. But more importantly, it's not like these people are lazy. They do go and find solutions. If you open up your Facebook, or if you open up your social media, you're going to see the top 10 to this. Welcome to the top 3 tips for succeeding in life. Welcome to the top 10 tips for financial freedom. Yeah. Right? There are so many tips on the internet. And they talk about that today. They also go to motivational speeches or motivational seminars. But some people are left with the question, how? How do I do it? I mean, you go to these motivational seminars, they're like, yeah, you can do it. You were born to succeed, yeah! And you get all pumped up, but some of these people go home and they're like, where'd all that energy go? So some people just assume that things will just work out. And there was a District 67 champion who thought that you'd have to have a sense of humor to go towards your dreams and go towards and laugh at your challenges. But as I was writing my project, that wasn't the case either. My bad. I didn't tell the PR, they didn't change that on the synopsis. But I did research for 2 months. And I found 2 paradigm shifts today that if you implement that, you will have more success and more joy than you can ever imagine. Do you want to know that?
Yes.
Everyone turn to your partner and say, turn to the person next to you and say, you will have a breakthrough today. Go.
You will have the breakthrough today.
All right. So it's my pleasure to show you the last part of the Awaken Champion series. In 2013, I had the opportunity, and really it was such an honor, to represent District 67 in Cincinnati and Ohio. And I got to meet so many fantastic people. And it's something that I think we should have more in our education system. But it would really, you guys are in this contest, this humorous evaluation contest. You get to see the best of the best. And I encourage everyone to go to the next level. It's a completely different feeling. So I got to share that at the fall conference in 2013. And then 2 years later, I took it up one more notch. I called up world champions and I asked them, how did you guys do it? How do you guys succeed and make it look like it's so effortless? And the answer was, does anybody remember?
Discipline.
You gotta have a ridiculously awesome vision. Your vision will propel you. But this year, I thought, well, I have a vision. I have many goals, but how come it's so slow going? It's kind of like me driving, like Julia. I do know where I want to go, but somehow I end up in a tunnel to Taichung. So we're going to start with a question. Everyone say, why?
Why?
Why do we make goals and visions?
Why do we make that vision?
Okay, I didn't want you to repeat that. I actually need some answers. Does anybody fire away? Why do we make goals and visions?
So we know the direction.
We know that
We
direction.
know the destination.
Know the destination. Why is the destination so important? I mean, why do we want to go where we want to go? You might get something. Why do you want that something? Meaningful life. Very good. Why do we want a meaningful life? Who said that? Ding, 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 ding. I'm sorry, I do not have an Ed Tate award for you, but we have goals and visions because we want to be a better version of ourselves and we want to be happy. Now, I'm going to do something that most presenters don't do right now, is pause the presentation. Because I have worksheets for you,
Okay.
which did not get distributed, okay? So pretend this didn't happen. Could I get one volunteer from here, one volunteer from the center, and one volunteer on the right? I actually made some worksheets for you so that you can take this home. My apologies for that. Okay, while they're doing that, I want you to think about the goals in your life. Okay,
Just pass.
somebody tell me a goal that would make you happy. Okay, I'll start with one. There might be a possibility where someone is single and he or she might say, if I meet the perfect person in the world, that would make me happy. So somebody fire another one. My good friend Robert, help me out. If my company starts, I'll be happy. Very good. Who else can help out? What would make you happy?
Be more like Hanson.
Thank you, Eric. I'll be happy when I'm more like Eric. Anybody? So everybody's really happy, huh? Okay, well. Anybody else? What would make you really happy? Money! Money! Okay, very good. Anybody else? So nothing would make you, yes?
If I become basketball teacher,
You'll become a teacher?
maybe.
Then you'll be happy. Very good. I'm sure your students will be happy. Excellent. But the question is, why does this chart exist? This chart shows the average American income, which has tripled over the last 50 years, but yet their happiness index is still down there. Why? They should be happy, right? Americans, they're the most technologically advanced nation. They're the richest nation in the world, but yet, happiness? Man. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is they are pursuing the American dream. It is their pursuit of the American dream that's causing them to be like that. Everyone say pursuit.
Pursuit.
That means chasing. That means when you have a goal and you place the condition of happiness in that goal, you paint the process in the negative light. You turn into that person or that child who was in the backseat of a minivan going from Taipei to Kending, and you're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And your parents are like, shh. Okay? So when we place our happiness in our goals, that's when things start to fall apart. Okay? When we don't really have our focus on goals, we're actually naturally motivated to move forward in life. That's a natural thing. We just want to grow. We just want to learn. But when we place that happy, if we become happy and achieve that goal, then that condition will cause us to be like being chosen. Now, sorry. This marshmallow experiment was done in the 1960s in Stanford University. And all they did was take these children and give them one marshmallow. So these children, yay, one marshmallow. But watch what happens when the experimenter gives them tells them, if you hold off from eating one marshmallow for 15 minutes, we'll give you 2. Here's what happens.
2 marshmallows instead of just 1.
Do we sometimes feel like those kids? Yeah. Like, oh, why do we have to hold off? So the pursuit of happiness is agreed upon from the psychology field that if you pursue happiness, no matter what the goals are, if you pursue happiness, you'll not only be not happy, you'll be unhappy and depressed and lonely. It's called the hedonic paradox. You can Google it later. But the point is, there is a lack of meaning when you just pursue happiness. So, when we come to a decision point, it's usually 2 things. Instant gratification or delayed gratification. We're kind of like Garfield sometimes. What should we do? Instant gratification just means to pursue pleasure. So, pleasure, is that wrong? No. It's natural, it's biological. If we're tired, we go to sleep. If we are hungry, then we eat. The thing is, because it's biological, we just think that that is happiness. And if it just goes for long, we just need more. We need more TV. We need more louder, bigger, huger movies. We need bigger Toastmasters events, right? But delayed gratification is when you stretch your limits, when you learn something new, you learn new skills. And what you get out of that is real deep fulfillment and enjoyment. So, shall we go for instant gratification or delayed gratification?
Delayed.
Yeah, delayed gratification. When we place our goals, our happiness in our goals, there's fear of failure. How does that work? Well, if you say, if this goal comes true, then I'll be happy. Well, then of course you don't want to fail. But then you have other people say, hey, did you know that failure is the mother of success? And you're like, shut up. I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So that's what happens. Procrastination is the same thing. Because you put the happiness in your goals, everything else is unhappy. Oh, I don't want to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's like tomorrow. Okay, fine. Okay, finished. And so that's what we do. We try to avoid being unhappy. So we're worried and anxiety. We're anxious all the time. And we're easily derailed from our goals. So some examples. I want to meet the perfect woman for women. I want to meet the perfect guy, but dating is such a hassle. I gotta pass that person out. I gotta write my speech, but I'd rather play basketball. I want to lose weight, but that's a special edition cake. Okay? I want to save money, but that new sports car really looks nice. And the danger is that these goals become our identity. I failed, I'm a failure. No, you're not. You just failed. You just get back up. But how come I feel like a failure? That's why. And in Toastmasters, less than 10% of Toastmasters finish their CC. Less than 10%. And then less than 10% of those who finish their CC renew their membership. Ted Cochran 2 years ago at the Fall Conference, he could almost cry on stage. In a recent survey, look at the answers to why they did not renew their membership. They found something new. They have a new interest. They have new commitments. Toastmasters didn't make me happy. I got news for you. Toastmasters does not make you happy. Do you know why you're here? Because you make yourself happy. Am I right? Yes. So Planet Fitness understands this. Planet Business understands this dilemma. When the members join this club, they know they have goals to make them happy. But when they get on the machine, they have this thing called a lump alarm. And if anybody works out too hard, this alarm goes, and they'll ask you to leave. Because you're disturbing other people's happiness. And then, after you work out, they know that you're unhappy, so they have trays and trays of chocolate, candy, and cake waiting for you. And every Monday is pizza night. They gave out 3 million slices of pizza to their members. They keep their members happy when they go in, and they keep their members happy when they go out. But tell me, fellow Toastmasters, do they reach their goals? No, not at all. Okay? Now, we're kind of running out of time. I wish that we had time to do this workshop. But I want you to write down the steps towards your goal. And you need to refocus your journey as something that is enjoyable. Everyone repeat after me. It's all about the process.
It's all about the process.
It's all about my progress.
It's all about my progress.
Okay, very good. Repeat that at home. Whenever you're feeling down, it's all about the process. It's all about my progress. So, how is that fair for you guys? Fear of failure, lowered. Procrastination, worry, anxiety, gone. So what we want to do is we want to operate at an optimal level. We want to take action. We got to know where we're going. We want to wake up in the morning energized, like, yeah, this is a new day. I'm going to kick some butt. Yeah! Kind of like Joseph Cuppin. And then be excited all day and then perform to the end of the day, and we don't want the day to end. We want our day to be like Alex Honnold.
From time to time, we come across someone who can do something so remarkable that it defies belief. Here, Alex Honnold is 2,600 feet above the Yosemite Valley floor, trying to hold himself up the slippery granite wall of Sentinel. He's so high, he disappears into the mountain. Alex moves seamlessly across a section of flaky, unstable rock, pausing to dry a sweat hand in his bag of chalk. There's nothing but him, the wall, and the wind. He's up there without ropes or a safety harness. All he has is a pair of rubber climbing shoes. This is what climbers call free solo, and it's so dangerous that less than 1% of people who climb attempt it. Do you feel the adrenaline at all?
There is no adrenaline rush. You know, like if I get a rush, it means that something's gone horribly wrong, you know. Because the whole thing should be pretty slow and controlled and like, I mean, it's mellow.
Does the challenge appeal to you?
Yeah, for sure. Or being able to, like always being able to push yourself, like always having something bigger to do or harder to do, or anytime you finish a climb, there's always the next thing you can try.
Alex learned how to control his fear at this climbing gym near his home in Sacramento, California, when he was just a boy. He doesn't like to admit he's any good, which is why he's known to his friends as Alex No Big Deal.
You know, I'm not a very powerful climber. I'm more of an endurance climber, like I climb these big, long routes.
As he approached one of our fixed counters, Alex grabbed a tiny piece of rock and pulled himself up. In this position, most of his weight is on just 4 fingers. His weight shoes didn't seem to bother him. Take a look at him as he climbed up to another one of our fixed counters. He's so relaxed, even at this height. From up here, 80-foot pine trees below look like grass. And yes, he is whistling.
So you're ready to the top?
All the way to the top in just an hour and a half. The first thing he did before talking to us was take off his shoes.
Okay.
Alex Honnold has just set another record, but for him, there'd be no celebration, just a 2-hour hike down the easy side of the mountain.
So Alex Honnold is a really good example of devaluing his goals, taking out the happiness, and placing it in his journey. He doesn't have any pride whatsoever, and all he's thinking about is next steps. Everyone say, the next step.
The next step.
That's all you need to think about. He was completely confident because he felt that his skills met the challenge. We think he's crazy, right? No rope, but he was totally confident that his skills met the challenge. And that's a very important point that I'm going to make in a minute. And he had the ability to respond. Everyone say, I have the ability to respond. I have the ability to respond. That's called responsibility. So his shoes were wet, he responded. So your first takeaway is that you don't focus on the happiness in your goals, you focus on the journey. And you have responsibility. So Alex Honnold experienced what's called flow. And because I'm running out of time, that is a book written by a psychologist named Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, and it is the effortless approach to all our challenges. I encourage everyone to read this book. And what it is basically you are totally immersed in what you are doing. Totally immersed. And everyone's experienced this before. I experienced it when I was doing a triathlon. All I thought about was finishing the race, while some other competitors just gave up. today when the musical group did their song, they were totally in flow, right? Yes. And PGA players, actually I appreciate PGA players. Just think about all the things that they could be distracted. The money purse, the leaderboard, the millions of people watching, and the thousands on the green. But yet, every time, almost every time, they could hit a great shot. So I want you to think about when you flowed before. Let me just ask, when did you flow before? Can someone volunteer? 10 seconds.
Sports competition.
Sports competition, thank you.
This morning.
This morning, Eric. Yes, Eric flowed. Okay, great. So how does flow work? Really simple. The front part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, is temporarily inactive, which allows your brain to freely communicate with other parts. That's how you are intensely focused. Your inner critic gets silenced. How many of you have experienced the inner critic? Oh no, I'm number one speaker, and number one speaker doesn't really get judged very well, and blah, 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 blah. That inner critic gets silenced. So how do we get into flow? Everyone say how. How. I went too far, but okay, here's how. Okay, how is when your challenges are matched with your skills. Your challenges are matched with your skills. It's not too high, it's not too low. And you're in the condition where your goals are clear and you don't have any interruptions. And your goals are devalued and you're engaged in something that makes you more complex. You have great inner clarity. You have rock solid concentration. You feel that you're in control and that things are doable. This is flow. And if I were to chart this, it would look like this. You have this white part here which shows that you are completely, intensely focused. Now imagine your C1. What is the C1 speech?
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker. Remember that time when you did your icebreaker speech? You're like, oh, I'm going to get on the stage for the first time. Ooh, I'm going to do this. But then you're like, oh, that's okay. I can write any kind of speech. There's no really any rules or anything. I just got to get up there. And when you get up there, you're like, yes, I did it. And you're high-fiving everyone. And then it's your C2. What's the C2 speech? Organizing your speech. So the challenge gets a little higher. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to make this real organized. And you do it on the stage again. And you're still in flow. What's the third one?
Get to the point.
Get to the point, and you refine it again. Now, who is Vice President of Education here? Are you Vice President of Education? Raise your hand if you're Vice President. Okay, you're over there. Okay, all right. Then the Vice President of Education comes up to you, wow, you're doing a great job. Do you want to join a speech contest? And you're like, whoa! And you're in the red dot up there. And you're out of flow. Yeah. VP Education, you're listening, right? That's when the members get really scared. They're like, oh, I can't do this. And they're like, yes, you can. And you're like, no, I can't. Let's say we got Ed Tate to be the timer and awe counter for every meeting. How would he feel? He'll be bored. I'm not saying he wouldn't do it, because he's a nice guy. But he'd be bored. Have you ever taken on a challenge where you thought, yeah, it's kind of boring? You don't want that. You don't want to be outside of flow. Everyone say, I want to be in flow.
I want to be in flow.
You can be in flow in every area of your life. In relationships, how do you flow in a relationship? It's not sleeping with the other person. You get to know the person deeply. Conversations, activities. That's why so many Toastmasters hook up. At work, you're learning your skills. You're improving. How about eating? Putting down the cell phone, not checking your Facebook, and enjoying and savoring the food. You can flow in every area of your life. So, in your worksheets at home, you can make the assessment and see if your skills meet the challenges. I have a sample one right here. I would like to be the world champion of public speaking. One step is to find a coach. Do I have the skill to do that? Absolutely. Ed Tate is here. Okay? So do that assessment at home. If you do get a flow, the first thing you should do is check your goals. Did I put a condition on my goal where if I make my goal, then I'll be happy? You gotta check that. Is your clear goal? And your challenges, is it too high? Is it too low? If it's about your skills, find a mentor, find a coach, get rid of some friends that hold you back. So your takeaway for today, the second one, is that your optimal performance comes from flow. So, it is possible to be happy all the time, and it is very possible to effortlessly flow towards success. Now, if you don't know what time it is, congratulations! You were in flow. The old paradigm is gone. I encourage everyone to change the way you think about your goals. It's not if this, then I'll be happy. Everyone, it's all about the process. It's all about my progress. Always flow like a champion. And some final thoughts. Simon Sinek. Who knows this person? Okay, yeah, he broke the internet this year with an amazing speech about millennials. And in a nutshell, he says that millennials are viewed as lazy and unfocused, and narcissistic and self-interested and entitled. And the only thing really is because millennials have these amazing goals. They want to make an impact. They want to change the world. That's great. But they've laced it with happiness. So if you're a millennial, I'm talking to you, change the way you think, because it's not about just achieving goal after goal after goal. Life is about the journey. So, I would like to sum up by saying this. Imagine if we could flow together. You wouldn't just change your own life. We could change communities. We could change the nation. We could change the world. And the question is, will you flow, aim high, and thrive and shine? Thank you very much. Everyone, please take out your cell phones. Please take out your cell phones.